Hi, I'm Mez. I don't know exactly how all this is going to go, but I was encouraged to start a channel by the people I work with. So here I am. I've been putting it off, and I was told just jump in. Jump in. People are going to want to listen to you. So here we are, talking to a screen. Okay. First things first, I'm not going to say never, but I will probably never show my face. Mainly because most of my life I've been a private person until I wasn't. And I wasn't because I figured out that talking about my feelings is a lot better than punching either people or inanimate objects, and a lot better than beating myself up inside. So now I probably talk a bit too much. Some people find me entertaining. I think I'm rather boring, but here we are. I currently work as a transportation dispatcher. That sounds more glamorous than what it is, I guess. At the beginning of the month, usually like, I don't know, the first 14, 15 days of the month are a trial in patience and sanity for myself and my coworkers. Sometimes their sanity depends on not being around me, I'm sure, because I don't think I react like I need to react to certain situations. But I am getting better. And I don't know how many times I've been told I couldn't do your job. And the whole time I'm thinking, newsflash, I can't do my job. I've been in this particular position for 4 years. And for 3.5 years, I've been looking for another job. Because it took me that first half of the year to convince myself that I was not everything that the people on the other end of the phone said I was. And set out front, I do not work for emergency services, so nothing that I do is life or death for anybody, even though some of them like to think it is. I believe I work in a small town. It might not be so small by some standards, but we seem to think it's a small town. At least until I'm at work and realize that we cover 4 different cities, and you can't do that with 2 or 3 transportation drivers. Not successfully, not well. I mean, we do it because we never close. I work the mid shift, which is really busy most of the time. And it's the beginning of the month. Yay! It's the time of month I dread every month. Boy, this is harder than I thought. Um, and then my microphone or webcam, whatever, is picking up a lot of sound. And that's because all of my personalities, we are very low budget right now. Probably will be for a while. Um, so tonight I had my worst call was a woman that called 6 or 7 times, and the whole time that she was calling, she was not responding to me when I would answer the phone, and she was screaming and cussing at somebody in the background. And like I said, not life or death. I can hang up the phone. I've got 8 lines I have to take care of. I can't play with people. And we have long waits. And it doesn't matter how much staff we have, even though people seem to think that it does. The more staff we have, the business follows. The more staff you have, the more calls you get. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many or how few. You're always going to have long waits. And that's something that the person on the other end of the phone doesn't get. But there's also, when we are low staffed, it's hard to get to people that we would normally be able to get to. And they're in their world, they're in their life, and they don't understand it. And they're mad at us, and they give us credit for having more power than what we do. So when this woman called back and actually answered me, she was still screaming at me, that I needed to get over there and take care of the problem. Well, that is not our area. Call emergency services if you need that. Which she had been threatening while she was on the phone arguing with this person, that she was going to call police. We don't send our drivers into that. That is a dangerous situation. Our drivers are not equipped to deal with that. And that is something left to the police. But then she, instead of yelling and screaming at me, switched over to fake crying. All my ladies out there, you know what fake crying sounds like. And granted, when I first started this job, I bought into all that. I wanted to be the difference. I wanted to be the person that helped everybody. I wanted to make that difference. And though I learned that some people don't want you to make a difference, they want you to be as miserable as them. Anyway, she started yelling again to the other person. And I hung up again. And she called me back again. And I forget exactly what was said. But she got this mocking tone in her voice. repeated what I had said, but ended it by calling me the R word. R word being the word that means that I am insufficient in intelligence or slow in intelligence. I don't know how you would actually describe it, but I think you get the gist. To which that was my last straw. I was done. I was done dealing with her. I have the right to not have to deal with her. So I didn't. I hung up, and she responded by calling and calling and calling and calling. In between all of this, I'm dealing with other people calling. And I'm dealing with my drivers. And she quit calling for a while. And then she called and I answered. And she made these, remarks, sounds, and then hung up. She would call, I would ask her to hold while I was answering other calls, and she would hang up and call right back, being a nuisance, which we have called the police for harassment before over stuff like that. But I try not to call the police unless we've had an accident, because I feel like they've got a lot to deal with. So she ended up calling back and wanting a manager, to which I guess in reality I should have said I am the manager, because we have been told when no one else is there, we are in charge. So technically I am the manager. I told her no one was there, call back in the morning. She didn't call after that. But I wasn't the only one to deal with that. That is not just me saying that. Like I said, there was a coworker there waiting to go home. And he heard it. To which I got, I could not do your job. That is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to put up with that. And I think I put up with more than some. Just because I know everyone's going through something. Disrespect is not my favorite thing. And it's not my favorite thing to deal with. But it happens a lot. Which, if you're expecting a service from someone, you would think people would understand that you don't get disrespectful with the person that provides it. But that doesn't seem to compute with a lot of people. People treat the drivers like they're subhuman. And I don't get that. You're the one that needs the transportation. They've come to take you from one point to another. You could try to be kinder. I guess people who really know me would kind of be shocked by all that. It's not very often that I'm enlightened. I work off emotion a lot, which I need to get that under control. But on the other hand, I've also been called cold-hearted. So I'm still trying to figure myself out. And if you care to, you want to, or you just have nothing else going on, you can come along for this journey. There's probably going to be a lot about the workday. Probably, most likely. I came home tonight with the intent of talking about my day while I did my nails. But before I knew it, it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I need sleep. I feel like I need a lot more sleep than I really should be having. Right now I'm in that funk of, oh, why get up? I'm just going to have to XYZ, the same thing I did yesterday, and then I have to go to work. And I'm trying to get things lined up to where, yes, I will still be working. At least maybe I can enjoy what I do. So on the channel so far, well, actually, there's nothing on the channel so far. But my plans are, well, my nails. I'll probably do those every so often. Fair warning, I tend to stick to the same style a lot because I like change, but I don't like change. I know. I am a contradiction in human form. I say on a daily basis that I hate people. But I don't. I just wish they wouldn't be so hateful to people. Each other. People. You get it. If you're still here and you're still listening to me, you get it. Eventually I'll get into cooking. I think I need a better camera and maybe multiples to cover. I'm not like I have a big kitchen, I have a very tiny kitchen, but for the best shots of the cooking, I would probably need multiple cameras set up in certain areas. And I thought maybe every now and then doing a stream of me creating graphics on the computer, maybe? I don't know. I plan on making different tiers, of course. At least that's what people do. I've got plans for all of that. Although not concrete, not written down, they're just flowing in my head. If you've ever seen or played this game, it was eons ago. Fantasia. With, it's a Mickey Mouse game. I don't know what system it was on. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. But there's a part where Mickey is standing in the middle and all of these books and brooms and everything starts floating around him and swirling. That's what my brain is like. And I can be in the middle of something, the middle of a thought, and it's like a piece of paper. And all of a sudden that twirly wind, or whatever you want to call it, will rip that paper out of my hand, which is my thought. And my thought will leave. And it's like reaching out and trying to find that particular thought again. Sometimes I get lucky, and sometimes I don't. And tonight has been a lot of not being able to hold on to the thoughts. I'm all over the place and focused but unfocused. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that is age or stress or what it is. It could be the medications I'm on, because I'm a diabetic. I am on medication for that. And some of the side effects are brain fog. I'm trying to think it's not that, but I have started a new medication in the last couple months that the brain fog is real. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's not. Maybe I should quit going over it. Anywho, I guess that's it for jumping in. Here I am, feet first, without looking too much. I have no tags, no taglines, like nothing smooth to say to start, nothing smooth to say to close. The people I follow have all kinds of inspiring things to say. I'm just going to say I plan on uploading twice a week to start. And I may be a little inconsistent from time to time. Because, like I said, I don't think I'm interesting. I don't think anything I do is interesting. So, if I don't think I'm interesting, why would anyone else, right? But here we go. Thanks for coming along. Bye.